Tracey Fone, and I'm talking to Terry Caddick and Ted Grant from Passing Moustache. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Terrance Caddick, and I'm going to be playing Dalibor Rybar.
My name's Ted Grant, and I'm playing Eddie Pinkney.
Okay, brilliant. Can you both tell me what the show's actually about?
Thank you. It's a good question, and it's not easy to answer actually, because normally with plays you get a very kind of obvious plot, a very linear plot that's kind of with a beginning, a middle, and an end. And this play isn't like that. It's like a series of conversations. Are there 7 scenes, Terry?
I think there's 7 scenes.
7 scenes, and it's like a kind of conversation relay, if that makes sense. So the baton gets passed from one character to the next. So there'll always be a continuation of characters, but they're in fresh conversations each time with new characters that get introduced. So it's a series of conversations with 2 people. There's always 2 people in each conversation, and that's the basic kind of structure of it. Yeah. Go on, you talk about the premise a bit more, Terry.
I think from the audience perspective, it's kind of like a fly on the wall kind of view of what's going on in private and real lives. When you're looking at these different characters and what they're going on, and the persona that they show in public to the friends, to the work colleagues, and that kind of stuff. And then this is showing them the real nitty gritty, the aches and the pains, the wants and the needs that are inside. It's showing them, and then the conversation that they're involved in with people that they love or people that they work with. And it shows how they kind of value change within themselves, change within the people that they love, and changing with the people that they work with, I suppose, or just know. And then it's about identifying that change, isn't it? So sometimes a lot of people will become the person that they're pretending to be in, and still have them kind of aches and pains, as I say, inside. And then I think it's just this show's about relieving them aches and pains that these people have, these real life people. And I think that's why the casting's been really good, hasn't it? Because we've managed to grab people from all walks of life, and it shows in the characters, kind of the way they've been born and the way they've developed and evolved over the past few months. These are real people, and every time I watch them, it's kind of, even though I know the actors that are playing the characters, I'm watching these characters and they're affecting me, and it's kind of, I've seen them and I know what they're going to say, but I think just because they've got so much to say and it's that kind of profound and deep, and as like you say, it's said in a poetic sense, isn't it, really? Yeah. And that's how it is, and then that's kind of guided, as Ted said, by this interlinked conversation with that ongoing monologue, and it's kind of like a chorus, and it's a repeating chorus that's said by all the characters, but it's coming from their own heart and their own experiences.
Sounds amazing.
It is amazing. It's kind of it took us 7 months to be able to even start to explain what it's about, hasn't it? It's kind of
it's a bit different,
peculiar.
I've never been in a play like it. Like I say, it's not like your conventional structure of a beginning, middle, and end and a through plot. It's not really like that. It is a series of conversations, but they've all got something in common, or a few things in common. And I suppose that change, which Terry mentioned, is the big theme of the play. The characters experience change or are trying to change, and they find, they're like a lot of us, change doesn't come easy to some people, or it comes easier to other people. And I think that's basically what it's about. I think it's about examining ourselves as human beings, and I think it's about those that love us also examining you and trying to kind of make ourselves better, I guess, is essentially what I think that most of the characters, if not all, are all trying to do. I think they're all trying to go on a little journey, make themselves better, and improve themselves.
Quite a deep, production. It seems like, is it quite a deep?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it is. Yeah. I mean, that's not to say that it's quite playful, actually. Yeah. It's a mixture of profound and playful, I would say. Like Ted, the writer, he writes like I've never experienced before. I mean, these aren't sort of everyday conversations that people are having. They're quite lyrical and quite interesting. Like the way people speak in this play is quite different. And so Yeah, it is deep, and there's some deep themes, and there's some interesting themes, and there's some quite profound kind of stuff going on. But some of it's quite playful and quite funny.
Yeah.
There's lots of humour in it as well.
Oh, that's good.
There's lots of you. Like I think Ted's analogy of it was really good when he said something. You know, it's enough to make you bawl your eyes out and piss your pants. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Sorry, Tracey, but I think it gives you, it gives you a roller coaster of emotions all the way through it. Like Ted said, it does touch on some raw subjects, even taboo in some cases. So we're looking at domestic violence and racial abuse, queerness, and even paedophilia. All these subjects aren't too much for us to talk about and discuss and that kind of thing. And so there's some people are going to get nerves touched, aren't they, when they watch it? But I think what it's going to do is it's going to instigate conversation when people leave, and that they would have had this emotional roller coaster while watching the show, but once they go out, they'll still be talking about it. They'll wake up the next day and they go, what was that about, kind of thing, still trying to find their own meaning, like listening to a really good song. I think, do you know what I mean? It's one of them, maybe like a Pink Floyd or so. Maybe I'm going too far here, but it's kind of, you can listen to the same song 100 times and then pick up different meanings, on any one of the versions or times that you listen to it. I think that's kind of what goes on with this play as well. There's so many subtleties in the poetry, and it's not poetry. We're not stood there reading poetry. They're not, apart from that repeating monologue. But I think the way it's written, it's just beautiful, isn't it? It's kind of, he spent a lot of time, choosing his words carefully. I mean, he must have had a pile of thesauruses there, definitely. But yeah.
I'd say it's more lyrical than poetic. It's like, I think I know we've spoken a little bit about poetry and stuff on some of the previous material that we've done, and Ted sort of said, what's with the poetry and all this, and it's not written as a poem or anything like that, but it's poetic. It's poetic and it's lyrical, and it's got a kind of, there's like a rhythm as well to the text, to what the characters are saying, and it's different. There's no doubt about it. It's like
there's like a soundscape as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a lot of emotions and feelings, from not only the visual cues and the audio cues that you see, but what's going on around you as well, the feelings, and they're going to be kind of. I think that maybe even think about incorporating smells in some way if you can. There's probably an old fish at the back of the stage somewhere.
It sounds absolutely amazing. Who's actually in as the cast? Obviously yourselves.
So we've got Corey, who plays Alex. Alec even. Yeah. Alec Mariner. Mark, who plays Barrington Black. Yes. My lovely friend Michelle, who plays Sea Green. Myself is Dalibor Rybar. Ted is Eddie Pinckney. The wonderful Rachel Davies is Fiona Fern.
Fiona Fern, yeah.
And
Sonia.
Sonia is Jerry Silver.
So it's a cast of 7, yeah.
And we're coming from over. I mean, Sonia comes from Bradford, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She lives over in Bradford, so she's got to get a couple of trains into rehearsals and then obviously on the show nights and that. Yeah. And we've got no big contracts or anything like that, have we? It's kind of. I come from Runcorn, so it's kind of it's a good 40-minute drive. So
it's a diverse cast. When you see it, you'll see what we mean. It is a diverse cast, isn't it? Yeah. There's people from all backgrounds in the cast, which is fantastic. Which you don't always see. You go to a lot of plays and it'll be an all-white cast. This isn't, and it's great to see. And we've got diversity in the cast. And we've got diverse characters as well, and I'm hoping that people take a lot from that, and this covers a lot of ground. This play, and it explores the themes, explores the diversity which the cast reflects.
Which is important.
Yeah.
How's the casting? How did the casting go? When Ted, I know obviously when you got picked and stuff. How was it? The actual process of all the casting.
It's pretty easy going for my experience of it.
Yeah, I think Merv and Ted, together kind of handpicked the cast. I mean, I didn't audition. I don't know about you, Terry, but I got grabbed.
I kind of got a phone call from Ted, and so I haven't been acting that long. I've only been acting for 2 years, and I started doing these Make It Rights, these online play readings as an actor, and apparently Ted had been writing this play in the background, and they'd had some readings that I wasn't there for. This was before my time. And he rang me up and said, as soon as I seen and heard you, I knew you wanted you to play my character, kind of thing. So I went and met Merv, because the final say so was with Merv Jones, our director. So I went and met with him, and we just had a coffee and a chat and that kind of stuff. He asked me about who I was and what I was up to and why I wanted to play the part, kind of thing. And then he kind of left me hanging afterwards. All right, I'll let you know, kind of thing. And it was like, at that point, you know what I mean? I'd had the script off Ted, and I was like, I am having this part. Do you know what I mean? Whether anyone likes it or not. Do you know what I mean? Whether I have to steal it and do it as a one-man show, then I will do. Yeah. But he was actually, I'll take the credit for this. It was actually me who said to Ted and Merv that Ted would be a fantastic Eddie. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then to be able to get this opportunity as well to go and act with him, do you know? Because he was the one who got me into Make It Right. We met during Our Country's Good, which was a mad summer show back in 2022.
2 years ago.
2022, yeah. We met doing that, and he was kind of like, he was an established actor on the fringe, and I was brand new, and I was like, what do we do to get to your level, kind of thing. And he was open with it. He told me what to do. He invited me to Make It Right, and then so to be able to be in something with him again now these years later is kind of like a joyful. But I think, but back onto your question, it was Merv and Ted handpicked the cast, didn't they? They were kind of had an idea of who they wanted and what they wanted, you know, and I think they really wanted that inclusivity and diversity in there as well. It was something, so they kind of spread the net a bit further than what you'd usually do for a local profit share play.
I'd been in a Make It Right thing before, Park Life. I don't know if you saw Park Life. Yeah. So I was in that and did an alright job. I only had a small part, but obviously like Sharon was, wanted to get me back to do another Make It Right thing. And Terry's been in Make It Right a Vision as well. The Eurovision Make It Right competition. Yeah. And Sonia as well was in that as well. You were in the same play together. Yeah. So they've, Sharon and Ted have seen us in stuff. Merv was a bit of an unknown quantity. I've only known Merv through his movie quiz. He does a movie quiz in fact on a Wednesday night, and I've seen him in there doing that. And but I've never actually worked with him. I didn't even know he directed. Yeah. It was news to me, to be honest. But he kind of had a chat with me as well and got me on board and stuff. And he's an interesting guy, and they've been fun, haven't they? The rehearsals.
You have indeed,
yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. That.
Yeah.
When you've been doing like the rehearsal and stuff, have you faced any issues, or has it been sort of plain sailing?
Issues? No issues as such. It's just quite hard. Yeah, it's just quite a tough. I mean, we're in a scene together, me and Terry, and it's quite. Even though the play is made up of conversations, of two-way conversations, and some of them are quite sort of static-ish. Ours is not. It's actually quite physical. We're actually sort of we're on our feet quite a bit, and there's quite a sort of physical interaction with each other, as you'll see. And it's been quite a difficult one to sort of choreograph, and we've had to practice a lot. And we're just a week and a bit away, and we're still not quite there, are we? If we're honest, and we've still got work to do on it, and I guess that's been the difficulties in rehearsals, is that our scene feels quite complex, I think, because there's lots of saying and doing, and it's quite physical, and and again, because of Ted's script, his language, it takes a bit of getting your head round, doesn't it, and understanding what he's getting at, and some of the lines, So that no kind of like
issues as such.
No issues as such, but there's a lot to get your teeth into with the script. don't know if
That's brilliant. That
you want to
is.
expand on that.
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. There's been no issues, no.
How did the script come about? Did he say like why he wanted to do this script? What was in his head when he actually?
The script, as far as I know, the script came about when he. Do you know the chorus that we've mentioned, which sort of links each scene?
Yeah.
I think that's how it started. I think he wrote that. He wrote the chorus first, and then he kind of expanded. He kind of sort of created the characters from the chorus, I believe. I think that's how he did it. It started off as I think he had a challenge to do like a kind of like a micro play or something, like a 3 or 4 minute play, and he came up with the chorus, and then he's just basically expanded it. So Make It Right do these drop-ins on a Thursday night.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah, the Thursday night drop-ins every 2 weeks, and Passing Moustache went to one of those drop-ins. I don't know how big the play was originally when it went there. I think it was only small.
Yeah.
And it's had several readings. I remember reading Passing Moustache a long time ago. I can't even remember what character I even read for. Could have been yours, I'm not sure. Could have been Dalibor. I'm not really sure, honestly. It was such a long time ago. But there's been various feedback from other, contemporary kind of playwrights and stuff. And it's gone through a process of edits and tips and advice and all the rest of it. And it's basically just sort of started very small and got bigger, and then
That's really good.
I think Merv sort of
from where it started.
Yeah. Ted will be able to tell you more about that.
Yeah, but it's interesting though. So, speaking from like a cast, what do you want the audience to take from this when they leave? What do you want?
I think the first thing is entertained. I mean, people come to watch a show to be entertained, don't they? Whether that's a pantomime or a real life show kind of thing. But I think it's just questions, isn't it, about life, maybe about their own life as well. Do you know what I mean? Is there anything that they can change? Is there anything about themselves that they're not quite happy with it? I mean, like, we only get one life and it's short, isn't it? And it's kind of, and some of the show addresses that as well. So it's just about, I think it's about giving people hope, that despite where you are, do you know what I mean? There's kind of, you can still change. Things remain the same, but you can still change. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like the sea. Do you know what I mean? Change, but be the same. And that's one of the messages that the play gives, isn't it? And so I'm hoping that when people walk away, A, they'll be entertained, B, they'll be talking about it a few days later, and C, they'll want their friends to go and see it as well if they get the chance to go in again. So
yeah, just echo that basically. Yeah. I think first and foremost, people want to go to a play, don't they, and come away and think that was good. That had something. That was interesting. That was entertaining. I mean, first and foremost, that's what it is. It's a piece of art. You know what I mean? It's just theatre. Before we get too carried away with anything else, it's just it's not real life as such. But often theatre moves us, doesn't it? Because it echoes real life. Because it sort of shines a light on real life. And that makes you think, and it kind of, and that's what we want people to do. We want people to watch it and go, oh, I know someone like that, or oh, I saw a bit of me in that character.
It's like food for thought.
And there are characters in this who are troubled, and who have done bad things and things like that, who are trying to get on the right path. And I mean, we've all been there, we've all got a past, and I'd like to think that the audience will be entertained, but also have a thought. We'll think about things after they come out, and we'll discuss things that come up in the play. And there's lots of stuff in there. There really is. It's almost like, I think you said it, Terry, about you listen to a song and you find, you listen to it so many times and you find more layers and more meaning and stuff. And I think this play, you almost need to see it several times, I suspect, to really kind of get underneath what's going on some of the time, because there's a lot in there, isn't there? I'm hoping people are going to really find something in there for them.
Is there anything else we need to know about the play, about the cast? Anything you'd like to?
it's just fantastic. And some of these, I think some of the actors are that good that you might be the last chance you get to see them on on such a local stage. Do you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, come and see it while you can. I definitely think that it's not going to be a 3-night show. I think it's too clever for one, you know. So I think it's going to come again and again and again. I think it's one of them. Do you know
How
what I
long
mean?
is it on for?
It's on for, at the minute we've got 2 nights on for sale, the 1st and 2nd of March. We're hoping that we sell those out and maybe sell some tickets for the Thursday night as well, but we're kind of saving that for important guests and dignitaries like yourself. So yeah, so 2 nights at the minute, with potential scope of maybe moving elsewhere.
And then you'll let us know about the tickets, which I can...
Yes, yeah, I'll get Ted to send you a link over and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or you can check out my Facebook page, Terrance Caddick.
There is I believe there's a theatre in Manchester, or a similar group to like Make It Right in Manchester. I can't remember.
532,
53 Productions, I think they're called. Yeah, we're kind of like a bit of a kindred spirit of Make It Right, and I think they're coming to see it on the.
Brilliant.
Pretty sure they're coming along, and if they like it, they're probably going to invite us to Manchester to do a show there, I suspect. So
yeah, so
that'd
yeah,
be great.
Even kind of like there's been a bit of celebrity interest in the show. So we've done the Radio Merseyside, so the presenters from there were potentially looking at coming with me, and then
That's brilliant, then.
our assistant director bumped into Hayley from Coronation Street, was it?
That's right, yeah.
Who was talking about the play, and they were intrigued as well, and I think they do a little bit with Fringe Theatre and that as well. So.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So yeah, it's starting to pick up the mustachioed momentum, isn't it?
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm really excited about seeing it. Really excited.
I think you'll enjoy it. Well, I know you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
It's certainly different.
More about it.
It's distinct. I've never been anything like it. It is unique. I mean, and that's not easy to say, you know. I mean, but I've been in lots of plays now, and I've never been anything like this. You know, this is a one-off, and you know, I'll urge people to come along and see it because there's nothing like it. You know.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be
Well,
marvellous.
And it's been lovely talking.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
We've gone on a bit, haven't we? Sorry, we do.
No,
do waffle.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
We ramble a bit. Waffle on.
No, I've actually loved it.